Friends, now we are starting the pulley. It is composed by George Herbert. The pulley. It is a metaphysical poet that uses the extended metaphor of a pulley to explain the reason why man is always restless. Before starting, we use here metaphysical poet. Okay. Now, what is metaphysical? Metaphysics is a branch of philosophy that explores fundamental questions including the nature of concepts like being, existence and reality. Before starting poem, we focus on warming up. First question, go through the following images and try to link them with our lives. For example, storm. Storm indicates hardship that we face in our life. Owl. It indicates wisdom. Rose indicate determination. Tree. It indicates life. Clouds. It indicates sorrowful moments. Bouquet of flowers. It indicates beauty. Waterfall. It indicates strength and power. Mountain. It indicates honor. And last one is sunrise. Sunrise indicates hope. Such expressions are called dramatic monologues. Robert Browning is the master of these dramatic monologues. Now imagine and write monologues suitable in the following situation. Here we have four various situations. Now we have to find its answer. It's your birthday next week. If next week is our birthday, we hope that what present we will get. You have been waiting long at the city bus stop. Its indicate or its dramatic monologue should be I shall be late for any party, or it can also indicate I shall be late for school. Your final exam results are to be declared tomorrow. If this situation occurs in every student's life, I wish it were tomorrow, and tomorrow will never comes. Your mother has been chatting for very long on the telephone. We can imagine its dramatic monologue as this conversation could go on for ages. When will I get a chance to call to my friend? Now, the introduction of poet George Herbert, 1593 to 1633, was a Welsh poet. He was a priest by profession. He wrote religious poem with a lot of imagery and conceits. This poem exhibits a strange but two-way relationship between God and his worshipper. Though he has showered or bestowed his worshipper with all his blessing, somewhere he holds them up with a pulley drawn to be grateful to him in all our endeavor. Endeavor here means try. God gives so many precious gifts to the devotee, but at the same time, God also expects something in return. What does He expect? Why does He withhold? Here a beautiful question asked by George Herbert. Okay, he just claimed that God gives us so many precious gifts, but He also expects some return gift or something return of that gift. What should we have to return God? The pulley shows how God gives man towards himself with the pulley of restlessness. What is distinctly metaphysical about the poem is that a religious notion is conveyed through a secular scientific image when God at first made man. Here, the poet says that at the time when God first created man, having a glass of blessings standing by. When he created man, he had a glass of blessings standing by. Let us, said he here means God, pour on him all we can. He means God. God thought that he would be generous and shower on man all the gifts possible. Let us world's riches which dispersed lie contract into a span. Here riches means wealth and disperse means scattered. Contract means collect together. Span means small space. Now God intended that all the treasures or wealth of the earth which lay scattered should be collected and concentrated in the small space he had created, which was man. For giving a beautiful gift to man, God intended whatever treasures, whatever wealth had scattered on the earth, he should collect and concentrate in the space he had created the man. So strength first made a way. The first gift God gave man was strength, power, then beauty, followed then wisdom, honor and pleasure. After strength, this was followed by beauty, then wisdom, honor and pleasure. When almost all was out, God made a stay. When nearly all the gifts had been bestowed on man, God stopped a while, perceiving that alone of all his treasures rests in the bottom lay. He notices that of all the treasures, only one gift remained at the bottom of the glass, and that was rest. Perceiving here means noticing, becoming conscious of, bestow on, give as a gift to. For if I should, said he, bestow this jewel also on my creature. Now, God said to himself that if he bestowed this precious and valuable gift on his creation, that is man, he would adore my gifts instead of me and rest in nature, not the God of nature. God bestows all his precious and valuable gift on his creation, that is man. Man would love and worship only the gift of nature and would not love the God who had created all the things in nature. So both should losers be. All the things which was created by God, both God and man would finally lose each other. Yet let him keep the rest. So God let man retain all the other gifts, but keep them with ripening restlessness. But at the same time, he left man restless and continually anxious and dissatisfied. Let him be rich and weary at all that all last, if goodness lead him not, yet weariness. Now God thought that man should be rich with the abundance of gift, but he should always remain tired and restless. God reasoned that only then, at the end, if the quality of goodness did not lead man back to the God, may toss him to my breast. Now, sheer fatigue here means tiredness, would draw man back to the God's heart. If man has all wealth, all gifts, power, money, if richness, he should tire, and after tiring, man would back to God's heart. Now you have to complete these activities, complete all its remaining activities. Thank you.